So today I will be going to demonstrate my final presentation for the coffee app. So it's just not the coffee app, but you can even order food and everything up over here. So the name of the app is Coding Brews, and the main functionality of app is it will help to make your breakfast order much easier, and with that you can also track on your monthly expenditure on the food, because it has a cool feature on its home screen where it shows like how much money you spend on the monthly expenditure. So these are my like four of the views. So one is the launch screen, the other is the login page, the third is the sign up screen, the fourth one is the home screen. So the main technologies that I used to develop this app is Google Firebase authentication. So I use Google Firebase database to save the user's data, and after that I used Google authentication to authenticate the user if the user already exists or if it's a new user, and it does saves the user data to the Fire database. That's a real-time database. Besides that, I have used a Google StoreKit, Apple StoreKit feature, in which you can enable the Apple Pay on it, and you can pay by Apple Pay to make any purchases on this app. So the trouble that I had with the app was I wasn't able to download the pod file. That's the most basic file that you need to download to enable the Firebase authentication Firebase feature to your app. So I need to Google it a bit, and from the Stack Overflow I came to know like I need to use command prompt or any other Sublime Text or terminal to download it, because I wasn't able to do it from the Cocoa Touch class. The other main drawback of the app was I wasn't able to configure like what type of payment I should add it on. I was familiar with the Stripe API, and I know how to integrate the Stripe API using the PHP and the Swift, but this Apple Pay was new for me, so it took a while for me to figure out which Apple Pay feature I should add it on, because they had like consumable pay, non-consumable pay, reusable pay features on it. And the third biggest challenge was for me was the total expenditure feature. So as you can see on the screen up here, you can see the total spending up here. So you need to add it on, like you need to tell it will calculate like how much you are spending total every month on your breakfast. So future plans with this app is I would just change the payment method firstly. I will jump back to the Stripe, because most of the user doesn't use the Apple Pay on their iPhones. So with the Stripe API, they can add their debit and credit card on it, and they can pay by their debit and credit card usually. Other cool feature that I want to add on my app is the Google GeoMap location API. So it will help the user to track the nearby store. They can find the nearby store and place the order on it by putting their location in the app. The other feature that I want to add is the OTP verification feature. So every purchase the user makes on, they would be getting a unique OTP code, and after entering that unique OTP code, they would be only able to make the payment on the app. And I would like to deploy this app on the App Store as well. So this was my presentation for the app, and let's quickly go back to the code. So on the Xcode, let's quickly run the app. So up here you can see the launch screen. Let me rerun the app for you so you can see the launch screen. So this is my launch screen, and that's the home page, login, and the sign up page. So if we sign up any user like admin admin admin@gmail.com admin12, and if you sign up on the page, okay, you require your first and last name. Yep, so it will take you to the home page, and let's quickly go to the Google Firebase and see if the user is saved to our app or not. So as you can see over here on the Google Firebase, you can see up here the admin first name and the last name, the user that we just created was saved into my database. And let's try to log in with the same username and password. So let's quickly log in into the app. Log in, admin at gmail.com. And if I try to click on the login, it does says the password is invalid or the user does not have any password, so the password field is required. So I did added the form validation on both the login and the sign up page. So let me quickly log in into over here, and if I logged in, it will take me to the login page. So that's my login page, and let's quickly order something to eat. So let's order a cold coffee. It takes a bit to load the app. Let's just rerun the app. It's just the cloud console. Sometimes it doesn't work very well, the Mac and cloud. Yep. So as you can see, it takes a bit, but it does opens the app feature up here. So it says the price of the coffee is $1.72 and the description for the coffee, and it says if you want to pay or not. So if let's just quickly confirm the payment up here, and you're all set. Your purchase was successful, and if you click on the OK, it will add on the amount on your total spending up here, $13.43. And if we quickly go to the code review, then that's the StoreKit configuration where I added all the products up here, the food products up here. And on the app.delegate file, first I authorized the Firebase configuration. After the user is authorized, then I had fetched all the products from the StoreKit. In the register page, I used 4 parameters: the first name, last name, email, and password. And using the trimming feature, I checked all the white spaces and everything, and I did the form validation as well. And if everything goes successfully, the user would be saved to the database and he would be navigated to the home page. And in the login page, I used the email ID and the username as a username and password field, and it will authenticate if the user exists or not. If there's any white spaces, it will trim the white spaces up here, and it will authenticate if the user exists, then it will transit to the home page. And if it doesn't exist, then it will just throw the error up here. And on the home page, you can see I added all the models that I added on the StoreKit, and I just retrieved all this model up here. And I created a store.swift file in which I created a function up here that's name as completion, which will calculate the total amount of the coffee. And in the SK payment transaction page up here, you can see once the purchase has been completed, it will check the purchase is completed successfully, and it will validate it there was no error on it. And after that, it will add the total revenue into the total amount of the purchase into the home screen up here. So this was my